We're gearing up for our first Gulf Stream crossing. In our last video, we tackled a handful of projects to help make our time in the Bahamas as smooth and as stress-free as possible. But before we take off, we have just a few more things to check off the list, like getting the pets to the vet for their health certificates, and provisioning for at least 4 months worth of food so that we're fully stocked up for life off-grid. It's crazy to look back at just how far we've come these past few months. But as we wrap up on these final miles before we cross, we're also reminded that we're still pretty new to this.
I knew going into it I was going to be anxious. I just wasn't expecting to get out there and feel like so paralyzed. We're still in Jensen Beach. It has been almost a month. I think tomorrow will be a month since we've been here on the mooring field. We spent the holidays here and we've been just getting some projects done, but now we're just waiting for a weather window to cross, and there just is not much coming our way. We keep having northerly winds coming down, and when you're trying to cross the Bahamas, you really don't want to cross when there's north winds because it goes against the Gulf Stream and it can get pretty rough when crossing that. So we've just been kind of hunkered down here and hanging out, kind of waiting out a bunch of north winds that keep coming through. We also have the pets going to the vet tomorrow, and that's another reason that we're kind of stuck here for so long is because one of their vaccinations that they're due for also requires a booster shot, which we were not aware of. So we have a 2-week period in between their vaccination and the booster that we're gonna have to sit around and wait for as well. So we're really hoping we don't miss a weather window in between that 2-week period. That would really suck. So hopefully that doesn't happen. If it does though, it's not the end of the world. We're just really antsy to get over to the Bahamas at this point though.
The next day, we made the mile-long walk to the vet's office with dog and cats in hand. All 3 of them did really well for their shots and got a lot of compliments from the staff for being so well behaved. Every country has its own rules when it comes to bringing pets across borders. Before we can check into the Bahamas, we have to apply for an import permit through the Bahamian Department of Agriculture and make sure each of them have up-to-date health certificates that list all of the required vaccinations, such as rabies. A couple of days later, I went through all the food we had on board and inventoried everything. We're hoping to stay in the Bahamas for a few months, so we want to stock up on enough groceries for our time there. Groceries can be pretty pricey on the islands since mostly everything is imported, so we're hoping to save money in the long run by stocking up now.
So that was ridiculous. I think we drove around for a good 15 minutes just driving in circles in this parking lot, and there's hundreds of spots. There's not a single open spot.
We're at Costco, by the way.
Yeah, insane.
Hopefully this doesn't mean inside's gonna be a show.
Oh,
but
inside's gonna suck, but whatever.
Most of our provisions were canned foods, meats, and of course, some liquid essentials. Once back aboard, we then had the fun task of shoving every nook and cranny imaginable with our food and drinks for the next few months.
Oh yeah, we could fit another 2 or 3 in there easily.
In order to make sure our meats last, Dylan vacuum sealed all of them and we stored them in our portable freezer that we keep in our V-berth. Obviously, fresh produce is a different story, so those we'll be buying along the way.
What are we doing?
sweating. Giving the boat a good clean. We've been here for over a month now, so things have gotten a little dirty. So we're taking some time while we're at the dock to get water in the tanks. We're also scrubbing down the boat.
We're scrubbing the boat, and then we're gonna be leaving here in the next couple days. Actually, we're gonna make our way down to Key Biscayne, hopefully with a clean boat, and then set off for the Bahamas as soon as we get a window. Right now we're either gonna go to Bimini for a night or two, and then over to the Berries, or we'll do an overnight to Great Harbor into the Berries to check in.
It has been quite some time since we've had a day like this, but it's sunny, it is warm, I'm in a t-shirt, Aspen's hanging out with me. I'm currently up here editing a video up on the bow, and it feels like it's been forever since we've been able to just sit outside, because the last week, oh, there goes our friend Tailwind, they're heading out. A lot of people have been heading out of the mooring field this day because there is an opening tomorrow and the following day to head over to the Bahamas, but we are not going to make it.
Even Dylan came to join me up here. Hi, Dylan. What are we making, Dylan?
Some hillbilly pizzas with some terribly shredded cheese.
All right, the pizzas are done. Looking pretty good.
Oh my gosh, I want that one with the little cup.
That one's mine.
I want the cup of oil.
Before we headed out, we had our last checkup with the vet, and then it was one more stop at what had become our favorite spot in Jensen Beach during our stay.
We are now finally ready to take off. So tomorrow, we're gonna get up nice and early, and we're gonna head out, and we're gonna start heading south. We're gonna go to West Palm tomorrow, and then from that, we're gonna go to Key Biscayne, which is right outside of Miami, and then jump across to the Bahamas. I don't even know what our trajectory is right now. It's kind of changed day after day as to where exactly we're going to check into the Bahamas. I think right now we're looking to check in at Bimini and then do a couple of hops to make our way down to the Abacos. I could be entirely wrong though. I know between the two of us we're both feeling very anxious. I think just from sitting here for 2 months and not taking the boat out and doing any sailing, I think we just feel a little rusty and feel like, especially because Dylan replaced the engine mounts. We did take it for like a little 30-minute run, but I think on other projects that he's done, we're just kind of worried that we haven't really done like a shakedown sail. But for me personally, I know I'm feeling very anxious because it's just been a while since we've been out on the ocean, and the last time we did go and sail offshore, it wasn't a very pleasant sail. It was actually a god-awful sail and was really miserable. And I know we're really playing it safe, and right now we have a high pressure system that's sitting over top of us that's going to keep the winds down low for the next several days, so there's not going to be any swell. There's not going to be high winds like we experienced on that sail. I think I'm just still very nervous from that because I was feeling nausea for several days afterwards. Like, it really took a while for my body to get that out of my system. So I think I'm just anxious in that regard, that I don't want my body to go through that again. Regardless, as anxious as I am super excited to be getting back out onto the water and going sailing and getting to the Bahamas. I am super excited about that. This is something that when we bought our boat, we really, like getting to the Bahamas and getting to like dive off the back of our boat and go swimming in crystal blue water. That's kind of like when we bought it, what we envisioned doing with our boat. So to finally be at this point where it's in reach and it's gonna happen in the next couple of days is super exciting. So yeah, obviously we're gonna take you guys along for the journey, but just wanted to let you guys know we're finally leaving Jensen Beach and finally getting ourselves across to the Bahamas. Can't believe it's finally happening.
We're finally leaving Jensen Beach today. We're revisioned and ready to go. At least so we hope. At this point, if it's not on the boat, oh well. But yeah, so we're heading down to West Palm Beach, Lake Worth Inlet for the night. It's going to be a pretty calm day. I would jump outside the St. Lucie Inlet and motor to West Palm, but I think we're going to take the inside just because the waves are going to be, or the wind's going to be right out of the south, even though it's only going to be like 10 knots. Whatever swell is there, I'd rather just not beat into it. But then tomorrow we're going to make the jump outside from Lake Worth down to Key Biscayne to anchor out outside No Name Harbor. So we just made it to West Palm, and this is the type of thing that we've been waiting to see. If we look out, you can see our anchor chain, and you can see it lay across the ground. In 2,000 miles, this is the first we've got to see our chain hit the bottom. And we're only in 8 feet of water right now. 9 feet of water maybe.
It is beautiful.
This is so cool.
So nice.
Can't wait to get to the Bahamas.
I know. This just makes me even more excited to get over there. It is currently 4:50 in the morning. We're getting a very early head start because we have 11 hours today down to Key Biscayne. I don't even have the camera on my face because it is too dark to even illuminate myself, but just getting ready to head out. We're gonna jump offshore and get ourselves down to get staged to head over to the Bahamas. So right now we're in Biscayne Bay, which is right outside of Miami, and we came down yesterday. It was an 11-hour sail, but I was really surprised yesterday just how paralyzed with anxiety I was being out there during the nighttime. Yeah, that was really unfortunate. I knew going into it I was going to be anxious. I just wasn't expecting to get out there and feel like so paralyzed. Like I really was stuck in my head. Once the sun came up, I was fine. I could see the waves coming, and the waves weren't even that big. We didn't have much wind in the morning. I don't think we had, I don't think we were seeing over 5 knots, but I was just freaking out. So that was a little, difficult. But yeah, thankfully we ended up having a really good trip yesterday. The only downfall yesterday was that we ended up losing our drone, which really sucked. It got caught on the fishing line that we were trolling off the back and into the saltwater it went. We were able to recover it because it got stuck on the fishing line, but the electronics and the battery were not salvageable. So that was really unfortunate. Would have loved to have gotten like drone shots while we were in the Bahamas, but that's just material stuff. If anything, I'm just really excited to get to the Bahamas. We're planning to leave tomorrow, bright and early, so that we can get into Bimini and check in, and then we want to keep hopping our way over. We really want to get to the Exumas, so that's kind of the big plan right now. Ready to get back out there and get over to the Bahamas. Tomorrow's trip is going to be in daylight. I think we might be leaving a little early, but the sun should already be up, so I should be okay in that regard. Guess I have some working to do with my sailing and anxiety, so yay.
If there's one thing that I can appreciate about this lifestyle, it is that unless if we want to float in the same spot, we've got to press on and keep going. There will be days out here that test us and make us question if this lifestyle is worth it. But so long as the good days outweigh the bad, I see no reason for us to stop. And as we point the bow east and head off for the horizon, I'm certain that there are plenty of great days to follow. Thanks for watching.